All right, guys, it's the Tim Black Show. It's Freedom Friday. All right, so I'm wondering how many people heard the news. How many people heard the news? Heard the news about someone's running for president.
Like this, technology innovation or whatever, but it's hard to get them done with the existing arrangement. Are you gonna run for president of the United States and do something about it? Do you think you should? Do you think you should? Are you gonna run?
I have decided to run and will be making a formal announcement within the next week.
Whoa.
Tulsi Gabbard has officially announced that she's going to be officially announcing. And actually, I saw a tweet. So, yeah, it's a real thing, man. She put out a tweet that I retweeted where she said that she's running. So give it up for that. Give it up for Tulsi Gabbard. Give it up for that, guys. You said you wanted some progressive candidates. You said you wanted candidates who didn't want war, who wanted to bring troops home from war, who believed in legalizing marijuana, believed in Medicare for all. You said you wanted these candidates, and now guess what? Looks like we're going to have some. At least one, definitely. I think Bernie's coming in too, so give it up for that too. So that's a big deal, man. I'm really excited about it. Tulsi Gabbard is one of those people that bucks the system, who's willing not to go along with, the status quo, was willing to sort of pave her own way. She went up against the Clinton machine when she endorsed Bernie Sanders. She stepped down from her role as vice chair of the DNC. So she's already proven that she has the courage and the fortitude. She was raised in a conservative family, veterans, her dad. And so she herself a Democrat and also a progressive. And when I use the term progressive, I don't want to confuse anybody because a lot of people use the term progressive nowadays. It's almost carries no weight, carries no meaning. But what matters is the policies that you believe in and what you think the country needs to do in order to make this a better country, in order to make sure that the citizens are taken care of and that we're giving everybody the opportunity to pursue happiness. And also that we're, doing our duty around the world, being the richest, wealthiest country in the history of countries, not just by bombing and pillaging other countries. So those are the type of ethics and policies and convictions that Tulsi Gabbard possesses, that she's displayed. So, yeah, that's why I support it, man. That's why I support her running. So let me put the phone number up just so people know. 319-527-6212.
There we go.
There we go.
So I'm really stoked that Tulsi Gabbard's running. She's going to really bring attention to a lot of the foreign policy issues that we've been dealing with, endless wars and all that kind of stuff. And environment, she went to Standing Rock, and it's just really stoked that she's running. And that's it.
Scott, hey Scott. Well, thank you, Scott, man. You know what? Thank you for reminding me about Standing Rock, brother. Because Scott, I had forgot that she did that. Isn't that something?
Yeah. She went out there with the veterans and drew attention to Standing Rock, and stood strong with the water protectors. Even introduced a bill to save the water all across the country.
My brother Scott, thank you so much, man. Happy New Year to Scott. Give it up for Scott, guys. I'm telling you, man. It seems like a long time ago, but it wasn't. It was not a long time ago. There's a lot that happened at Standing Rock. A lot that happened at Standing Rock. And look, this is what I love about this situation. Because we already know Elizabeth Warren is running, Scott, right? So we know Elizabeth Warren is running. Now we know that Tulsi Gabbard is running. I would like to know what progressive is going to vote for Elizabeth Warren over Tulsi Gabbard when Elizabeth Warren would not even mention Standing Rock. And she is the one getting DNA tests and all this other stuff. Now, I'm not saying that's the reason why she should support Standing Rock. But if you're going to claim, hey, I'm of Native ancestry, if you're going to get into a very public spat with the president about your Native blood, but when those people are being marginalized, in fact, guys, I want this to be known to anybody who doesn't know, because I've mentioned this several times. Native Americans are the most discriminated group in the United States. Native Americans are the most brutalized by police and the most heavily incarcerated people in the United States. Their numbers surpass African Americans, black folks, descendants of slaves. So I just want people to know I'm aware of this. I supported Standing Rock. I did multiple live streams on the issue. And I would like, this is going to be great. Like, this is what we get up for, guys. To have someone like Tulsi Gabbard challenge Elizabeth Warren, call out on her bullshit. They don't, let me tell you, the establishment does not like, and look, and Elizabeth Warren is not the worst Democrat running. She will be far from the worst. I'm not saying that Elizabeth Warren is the worst. But see what happens when you put someone who failed, historically failed, on an issue that matters to so many people. When you put that person on the stage as somebody who came through. Somebody gonna shine and somebody is not gonna shine. We're gonna have one person Tulsi gonna be like this. And Elizabeth Warren gonna be like this.
Tim Black, how you doing? This is Dave from Stone Mountain.
Dave, man, how you feeling, brother? What is on your mind?
You know, Tulsi Gabbard just dropped a bomb on the internet. I'm not as popular as you, man, but I've got about 2,000 friends spread between Twitter and Facebook, and I'm telling you, Tulsi's news spread like wildfire, and people were going nuts, man. So I think it's safe to say everybody's pretty excited. Now, whether Bernie's going to run and how that's going to work out with the two of them running, I will say this: if Bernie does decide to put his hat in the ring, you'll then have two progressives on the stage, and they're going to have a really hard time drowning out two intelligent people like that. It's not going to be the same as just Bernie standing up there by himself. You're going to have two voices like that. And so I really can't. I mean, my head's exploded. I still have not unpacked.
Yellow.
My name's Sharon.
Hey, Sharon, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. What's on your mind tonight?
Tulsi Gabbard. I'm just over the moon, excited that she announced and she's going to run for president. I love it.
Talk to me.
My vote.
Yeah. Why does she have your vote? What is it about Tulsi Gabbard that has you excited?
Well, she's independent. She calls it like she sees it. She speaks truth to power. It doesn't matter if it's going to come back and bite her or not, just like when she stepped down from the DNC. I think she's got a lot of integrity. I like her policies on especially the environment and stopping the regime change wars. I've just been following her ever since she spoke at the 2012 convention. And I think that once everyone gives her a chance, listens to her, watches her, gets to know her, they're gonna like her too.
Hey Tim, it's Bree. I'm calling from Oregon.
Hey Bree, what's up, sis?
Not much. How are you doing?
Good.
I'm glad she's running for multiple reasons, but the most important reason for her, for me to be excited about her running, is her foreign policy bona fides. She is critical of the military-industrial complex, and she served in the military herself, which makes her like a political unicorn of sorts. And not only a political unicorn, but something we haven't seen, certainly in my lifetime. And the debates, when they come around, by having Tulsi be on the stage, we're going to actually get foreign policy debated and brought into the limelight, you know. And for anybody who's anti-war, there's nothing but good can come from that. So, also, it's not just about her foreign policy, but it's about like how she arrived at her positions. Underneath how she got there is her belief in diplomacy, peace, and using tax dollars to better the human condition rather than to take life. And those are core tenets and moral positions that I can get on board with, and I think will filter out to the other parts of her policies. If that's, you know, what's really driving her foreign policy, it's going to affect her decisions on domestic policy as well. My one comment that's a little bit iffy on it is that I wonder if Bernie Sanders will even run now, because he said last time and multiple times that he doesn't really want to run. He's only doing it because nobody else would step forward and challenge the status quo candidate. So I wonder if he'll pull back and just do a support where maybe it can be Tulsi's president and he's vice president.
You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
Hey, Mr. Black, how you doing?
I'm good.
Hey, this is I'm calling from Kansas City, Missouri, man. I've called in a couple of times, probably been a few months. Hey, I'm a Bernie bro, and for me to hear Tulsi Gabbard is running, it is a beautiful night. I haven't heard good news for a while. Besides, my Patriots are going to win tomorrow, but Tulsi Gabbard running, and let me get to a very crucial point in history. When Obama was president, towards the end, I don't know if you remember, the National Guard was called in. I think it was North Dakota, and they were just terrorizing the Native Americans up there because they wanted to put the pipelines down. Remember that?
Yes.
Tulsi Gabbard was one of the few that went out there to protest with Jill Stein. They didn't go together, but they ended up going there in solidarity with the misrepresented Native Americans in our country, the amount of atrocities they had to deal with, and then to have the National Guard go out there in the midst of freezing weather. And you got to remember, it was not Donald Trump who was president. People forget things. What pisses me off is all this small talk, how Trump is so evil and Trump is so bad. The National Guard was shooting down, and I think there was a girl or someone, they lost their arm because they got hit with a tear gas. Yeah. Obama was the president. Obama was the president when Flint, Michigan went down. It wasn't Trump. We have to remember these things. And I'll get back to Tulsi Gabbard. She was, not only did she speak out against it, she went out there. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful night, man. I'm a progressive. There's a little concern here now if Bernie Sanders run. I mean, I live in Missouri, and Bernie Sanders lost Missouri by only 1,400 votes. So think about that. That's not even 0.5%. Now, you throw a progressive that I am dying to vote for Tulsi Gabbard, but I'm also dying to vote for Bernie Sanders. And then you're going to have these, I call these the Obama, the Hillary, the Joe Biden wing. These are the corporate fascist neoliberals. These are just as evil as the neoconservative. And I'm going to be very honest here. I'm being blunt, and I'm not going to hold off the phone here for other callers, but I can If you want me to debate, I debate. But my concern is if a Joe Biden runs, what happens in states like Missouri if I decide to vote for Tulsi over Bernie? There's going to be a lot of folks like me. Do I vote for Bernie over Tulsi? But what happens if Biden starts to take these states down? And we're in trouble. If Biden wins, we're in trouble because I will not vote for Joe Biden. There's going to be, and I hope there's a Democrat puppet that listens to these shows. There's going to be hundreds and thousands of voters just like me, and once again, we will vote third party. And they need to hear this. They need to hear we will not jump the wagon because we're pissed off at Donald Trump. I'm going to go vote for Joe Biden. It's not going to happen. I will be voting Green Party again if a progressive candidate gets rigged one more time. And this is up to the talk shows like you guys, Secular Talk, David Pakman Show, to reunite here into a strategy of how we're going to win as progressives and how we're going to come out victorious, because it's going to be tough. And one more thing, and I'll hang up the phone, and I hate to discuss this topic because it gets very sensitive, and it's race.
Right.
They're going to play the African-American card, and Obama's going to make sure that the African-American voters in a lot of crucial states are going to back these corporatist Democrats, and they're going to sugar talk these African-American caucus to stand behind Joe Biden, and it's going to hurt. And I'll end it. Tim Black, I love your show, man. Keep up the good work.
My brother, thank you so much for the phone call. And don't worry about offending people. That's cool. If they get offended by real talk, right, and they need to get over it, because these conversations need to be had, my brother. I'm glad you brought it up. God, you're absolutely right about them using African Americans. My problem with it, mostly, are the African American celebrities who refuse to become educated. And what really bothers me, I got a feeling that they are educated, so they know what they're doing. They're fully aware of it. The ones who tout, they see, the strategy is to get everybody so hateful and detest Trump so badly so that they can run a Hillary and win without a problem. See, that's the goal. All of this is to make Trump so distasteful, to have you so repulsed by Donald Trump so that when 2020 comes around, they can just push the Kamala Harris right on through. Get it? That's what this is all about. That's why they keep running the negative stuff about Trump every day. They could care less about the negativity, the division that they keep talking about. There's never been so divided. They don't really care about that. If they did, they would tell CNN. Come on, guys, CNN and MSNBC, they work for the Democratic Party. Corporatists, not the left, corporatists.
Tim, my name is Brad Shadford. I'm from Boston.
Brad, talk to me, Brad. How you feeling?
So I got a couple of things, man. The first thing, the reason I called, and then I got like 5 other reasons after I was listening, but the reason I called was I really do want to know, I want someone to tell me when exactly did Liz Warren put something on a job application for a university or to get into school that said that she was a Native American, because there's an article in the Boston Globe from September 1st that says that none of that nonsense ever happened. So we're going to parrot right-wing talking points. Is that what we're going to do? Because it's BS, man. It's straight trash. It's garbage. It didn't happen. And we can talk all we want. But what you're doing is, you're not the only one. Everybody's doing it.
Hold on. You talking
right-wing talking.
Are you asking a question? Oh, you were asking me a question.
No, I'm making a statement right there.
Okay, so let me clear it up about the school, my brother.
Yeah.
The university she went to used her as the Native American person in the school, like in the yearbook or in the.
Wait, did she get in there because of it?
I've never said she got in the school because of it, but they used it
That's
like
what
she was the
That's
token.
what the right wing's trying to put it.
Right. But that's probably, but it was false representation. You know, it was like she is
not
the
by
native.
her.
Huh?
So what the university said that she had some Native American heritage, and that's supposed to be something that. Look, I like Tulsi Gabbard. I'm glad she's running.
Uh-huh.
I like Liz Warren. I'm glad she's running. Right. I'm just saying this stuff gets a little bit ridiculous when we start parroting right-wing talking points because this is what they want us to do. What? This is what they want us to do.
When you say
We
parroting,
should be making decisions based on between Tulsi Gabbard and Liz Warren based on what we think about them policy-wise. Not this nonsense from 40 years ago about some bullshit she didn't do in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I disagree, brother. I
Well,
disagree.
Okay, well, why?
I disagree. I think that Elizabeth Warren. First of all, Elizabeth Warren is not the worst Democrat to run. Like there are people that I would support Elizabeth Warren over several people. So I'm not one of those people saying she's the worst. She's not the worst. Okay, but I do have some problems with Elizabeth Warren. First of all, you know, when she did not endorse Bernie, that's a problem. That wasn't 40 years ago. That was only less than 4 years ago.
That's a legitimate beef, Tim. That's legitimate. Okay. I hear you.
Tulsi Gabbard did.
I'm not giving you a hard time about that.
Right. Tulsi Gabbard did. You know, and that caused her to step down from a position.
Hey, look, I'm not saying right now who I'd vote for. Hey, look, I'm from Boston, but I tend to think I'd like Tulsi better. But, you know, I'm just putting it out there. It bothers me when we start parroting right-wing talking points, like Liz Warren used her fake Native American heritage to get a job. She didn't do that. She didn't do that. She didn't do that. It's a lie. It's nonsense.
Yeah, okay.
It's BS.
I don't know who's making that.
That's all I'm saying.
Who's saying? Yeah. I feel you, man. Like you know, one of the problems we got. What's your name again? I think you said Scott.
No, it's Brad. Brad. We're all white people. Doesn't matter.
Hey, Brad. You know what I think it is,
I'm
man?
only kidding with you, man.
It's all good, Brad. Check
I'm
it
just
out,
messing
man.
with you.
I think that there's so much information out there, Brad, that we get information overload and we don't have time to vet it, right? So I think when you say right-wing talking points...
We got 2 years to vet this, though.
Yeah. People are tired of being lied to, Brad. So they don't trust any... People just don't trust people. That's all it is, Brad. It's not that they want to parrot right-wing. They don't even know where it came from.
I'm
they
not
just
saying
believe
people want to. I'm saying they're getting suckered into it.
Yeah. People get suckered into it.
They're getting suckered into it, and we can't get suckered into this stuff, man. We need to look at these candidates in the Democratic Party based on what policies we think they purport that are better than the other guys that are putting it out. So if Tulsi Gabbard has a better policy than Liz Warren, then that's what we should go with. If it's the other way around, okay.
Right.
If there's somebody else, I mean, look, bottom line is, I remember in 2008, I thought Joe Biden was definitely the best guy. You know, I wanted to vote for Joe Biden. And then, you know, Barack Obama came out of nowhere, and I said, I voted for Barack Obama. And, you know, it happens that way constantly. Like, if you vote for the same person that you thought was probably the best person, you know, 2-3 years before, you know, the actual election, you're probably an idiot. You know, I'm just put it out there. Right? You should probably evolve during the damn, you know, election when you learn more about people. But I'm just saying we shouldn't let them poison our primary with these stupid zombie lies, right? Zombie lies are like the you know, the enemies in Zelda. If you get too close to them, they start chasing you. But if you leave them alone, they never come near you, right?
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you, man. I think I get your point.
All right. I'm not trying to scream at you, Tim.
No.
I love the show. I'm a big fan.
It's all good, man. No, we don't have to agree on everything, but I get your point. It's a fair point. You know, this is important. Like, right. and Brad, I got to go to the next call, but I'll say this just to close it down. Bruh, we got a long ways. It's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to come out between now and time to vote, right? So everybody keep an open mind. I agree with you. Let's keep an open mind. Let's vet people out. We got time to do this. We're going to do it the right way. But believe me, we ain't heard the last. And look, we don't even know who's running. So thank you for the phone call, man. No harm. No, look, we ain't got to agree on everything. It's all good. In fact, that keeps the show interesting, right? So I'm going to go to the next call, Brad. And let's see what I'm assuming you're a Patriots fan, right? So let's see what they're going to do tomorrow, all right? I'm going to the next call. Give it up for Brad. It's all good. 410 is still on the line yet. 410, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, this is Uncle Ron, Tim. How are you?
Uncle Ron in the house. What's up, my brother?
Hey, I tell you what, it was good to hear Dave earlier today. It's been a while since I've been on, but I've been keeping up as much as I can. I guess this is the question I want you to answer. See if you I hope you get it right. But in 2016, after we saw Hillary was going to be the nominee, there was a dream team for 2020 that everybody was talking about. It was 2 females and Bernie Sanders.
I know exactly what you're talking about,
And
bro.
one of those females was Tulsi Gabbard.
Yes.
And I know which politician out of all the Democrats or independents, who wields the biggest stick? Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden. I dare say it's Bernie Sanders.
Absolutely.
I dare say it's Bernie Sanders.
Absolutely.
And I when I look at what's going on right now, I see 3 major people. I see Bernie Sanders. I see Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and how much the Republicans and Fox News are they cannot stop saying this woman's name. They just can't. She has been a representative for 10 damn days. And she is more popular, she is more known than Kamala Harris. Don't nobody know Kamala Harris. She's not even on the lips or the minds of anybody Republican because she's not charismatic. And I can see a 3-way coalition. I would love to see Bernie Sanders run. I really would. And I can see Tulsi Gabbard and him echoing each other's knowledge to shut down the establishment Democrats. We know what everybody knows what Bernie's issues are. Income inequality and wealth is the biggest thing that Bernie can talk about. Tulsi Gabbard can slam it home on foreign policy. And I can see this young Ocasio-Cortez out there just getting all these millennials jumped up.
That's right.
She's talking about Medicare for all. And I see that as a 3-headed monster that, I'm sorry, that they can say what they want as far as the establishment Democrats. I'm not taking them for granted because we saw what happened in 2016. We saw it. But if you have a bunch of candidates running, how the hell y'all going to rig everybody? You can't. And particularly when we know that Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders raised their money without corporate tax. They've done it already. So I'm looking forward to see how things play out the next few months. But I really hope that I hope that Bernie runs. I really hope that Bernie runs. We know that both of them cannot go all the way through to the end. But we also know how the big boys do it. When somebody drops off, you have them support XYZ. And I can see that happening between progressives who like Tulsi, progressives and even some Republican voters and Bernie Sanders folks. They're going to vote for him again.
Yep.
The majority will. And I can see younger people, particularly Latinos, and I hate to make it racist, but that's what it is. But Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is Latin. She's from Puerto Rico, and so she will have something to say, particularly in places like Florida. So that's all I got to say. Because we need to win Florida this year. We need to win Florida in 2020. And I can see her being a big influence in that state. So I'm out of here. I'll be back later, and I hope everything goes well with you.
Thank you, Ron. I appreciate the phone call, my friend. Good to hear from you always, Unc. Yeah, Uncle Ron. Ron's been listening to the show for years, and I met Ron at a rally. Because I do try to get out and get in those streets when I can, so it was great meeting Ron, and we've been in touch. And I tell you, man, he brings up a good point. Tulsi Gabbard, Nina Turner, Bernie Sanders. And I just tweeted about it about 30 minutes ago, and I just put out another tweet as well because I want people to know how much support there is out there for Tulsi Gabbard, for Nina Turner, for Bernie Sanders. Now, one of the things that concern a lot of us is that, nothing stays the same. Things change, right? Bernie supporters supported Bernie very vigorously in 2016. And we know that. He set records. I mean, they expected Bernie Sanders to be able to raise maybe a few $1 million. He raised what, $200 million, $250 million? All at how much per donation? What was the average? $27.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
$27. He had the little birdie laying on his podium while he was giving a speech. And I understand that, and that was great. But 2020 is not 2016. So what's happening now, I'm very excited about it because I was concerned with people just thinking, we're going to rerun 2016. Time never stays the same. So now that we're having some new blood, Tulsi Gabbard throw a hat in the ring. Has Bernie officially announced? I don't even know if he's announced. So I don't know what's going to happen there. But I do love the fact that Tulsi Gabbard is stepping in. She has, as Bree brought up, the bona fides in national security. She has the bona fides in military experience, not just a person who supports peace in the end of regime change excursions, where we send young people off to die, where we drop bombs on civilians, where we foment war in the Middle East. She's against that. And she's also had the experience of being in the military. It's not just somebody who's armchair quarterbacking. And we like an armchair quarterback when Saturday's game with the Patriots. I mean, that's fine. But we're talking about people's lives. Anybody's lives in jeopardy. Well, maybe if, could be. But, that's after the game if you had too many beers. So what I'm saying is, Tulsi Gabbard, this is a big night. I just want to see, I want to go back to the phone calls. I want to see what people are thinking. What's on your mind? What matters to you? Does it make sense? I think it makes a lot of sense for Tulsi Gabbard to run. It raises her profile, gives her more of a national profile. I think it's perfect. And I think she has the respect of a lot of Republicans too. So she will have the ability to pull independent votes. I do believe that. That's something we haven't talked about much. Let me go to the next phone call, guys.
What up, man? Tim, this is EJ, man. I'm just calling because I'm one of my favorite politicians is running for president. Of course, we talk about all night, Tulsi. Very happy about that. I'm still kind of worried about the dynamic if Bernie runs. Like, I don't know how that'll play out and then how that vote will split and how that'll affect an establishment candidate. So I really don't want Bernie to run now that Tulsi's running. Honestly, I'm still mad at Bernie for, telling everybody to vote for Hillary. I mean, my thing with that, I feel like in retrospect, maybe I'll get over that because I'll look back and say maybe he was the catalyst for somebody like Tulsi to run. So, I don't know, I'm working through that. I'm still working through it. And in the meantime, I've really been liking Donald Trump. I've almost become a MAGA person all the way. Like, I really like everything he's doing. I like how he sticks to his guns. Like, he doesn't really show a lot of weakness to me. Like, I don't know, I just like the stuff he's doing. In his policies, I feel like I feel like either policy, either way could work wherever the country goes. If we go towards a conservative route or a progressive route, it can work if we stick to it, you know. But if we changing every 4 years and we doing all this, you know, it's never going to work. We're going to be always, I don't know, stuck in some sort of limbo land. Maybe that's not how it works, but that's kind of the idea that I get from switching all the time. But I really like Tulsi. I'd like to hear more of her policies on like different things other than foreign policy. I feel like me and her is like 99% matched up on foreign policy. But, you know, I got to hear more. And I hope the establishment doesn't ruin her and with the super delegates and the whole nine. So we'll see how things play out. And that's pretty much all I got. Great show, Tim.
Hey, man, thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, EJ, man, he's gone to the dark side, man. The brother's gone, man. He came back, now he's going to the dark side. But nah, man. There have been a lot of people who have went MAGA. And I just, you know, and I was surprised. As you know, H.A. Goodman, my friend H.A. Goodman went MAGA. You know, and I think he really feels that way. Like, originally, it was bad. Like, I thought he was just saying stuff, you know? But I think he's like you, EJ. I think he just really believes in Trump. He really believes that Trump is good for the country. You know, look up Trump's bank deregulation. You sound like somebody, EJ, you sound like somebody who cares about, you know, who knows that African Americans were hurt the hardest when we hit the recession, when the big bank bailout happened. And black African Americans have still not recovered from that. We are the slowest group to recover from that, okay? Well, Trump went and did more bank deregulation. So look that up and then let me know what you think about it, because I think it's horrible. And I already, last time you called up, you asked me, would I ever go Trump? And I was like, I laid out a lot of things, a lot of issues I have with Trump's presidency. You know, and I got a problem with, you know, Democrats' bank deregulations too. I got a problem with that too. So, you know, it's not just Trump, it's policy. Because I know they can paint you any way they want to paint you. And that's what people need to know. They can paint you in the media any way they want to. They can make you look good, they can make you look bad. They can make you look like a maverick. Like they said John McCain was a maverick. For what? I have no freaking idea. Remember that? He's been gone a while now, we can say it, right? He's a maverick. Why? How? What? Oh, because he didn't want MLK to be a holiday? Well, what was mavericky? Oh, wanting to bomb. Oh, maverick. Oh, I get it. Drop bombs on people that had nothing to do with 9/11. Oh, okay. So my whole point to that, EJ, is that they can paint people any way they want to paint them. They can give you the impression that they want you to have. They can set the narrative. So I try to judge Trump. And it's hard, brother. I try to judge Trump on policy. So look up bank deregulation. All those conservatives out there who hate bank deregulation. Know some of you got to exist. Look up Trump on bank deregulation. All right, I'm going to the next call. I appreciate you guys. I do. That's a policy standpoint. It's got nothing to do with anything he said, you know, just what he's done. 810, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
Hi, Tim. This is Katie from Flint.
Hey, Katie from Flint.
I heard Bernie was on a couple weeks ago, and he said that he was waiting to see before he said he was going to run. So he said because there was a couple of progressives that he was hoping that would run. So I really don't think Bernie is going to run. I think he's going to back Tulsi. And if he does, Tulsi will get my vote. If Bernie runs, and I maxed out on giving him money last time, but I'm going to go with Tulsi because I like a foreign policy, and we need to get out of there. And and I heard I've been doing a lot of research on the TPP, and they're trying to bring that back alive again. So whoever gets in, I won't vote for anybody who's going to go TPP.
I appreciate
And that's all I
you.
got to say.
That's a lot to say. Thank you so much, Katie. I appreciate it.
All right, thank.
Katie
All
said,
right, thank you.
and you know what, Katie, you're spot on. You know, one of the things they tried to do with Bernie, one of the many smears that they had on Bernie that they used against him, they said that the fact that Bernie Sanders was running and he wouldn't bow out, that he was selfish. You know, because, you know, he wouldn't quit and just say, here, Hillary, you know. Yeah, he's horrible, he's selfish. But they didn't call Hillary selfish when she ran twice. You know, Bernie been in Congress 35, 40 years, I don't know how long, forever, right? He runs for president. One time, they called him selfish for not quitting sooner. She runs twice, loses both times, not a mention of the word selfish. In fact, they call it a hero. Hillary showed us how it's done. And my whole point of that is to also illustrate how, like I said, they'll paint you any way they want to paint you. They can create the narrative. But I thank you, Katie, because that's a good point. I'm not so certain that Bernie Sanders wants to be that guy.
90 seconds.
In fact, I just put it up on my YouTube channel, guys. Go to YouTube, watch my video on Big Pharma and the legislation that was introduced that was announced by Bernie Sanders, Ro Khanna, Ilhan Omar, Mike Blumenthal, God, so many, Cory Booker. Yeah, Cory Booker's on this too. That's going to change lower the cost of prescription drugs. And Bernie's a part of that. So
60 seconds.
Bernie has a lot of ways to be effective, and that's one of the ways. So anyway. And another comment, someone said a couple minutes ago that maybe, I think it was EJ, maybe Bernie's whole role was to kind of open this up. And you're absolutely right. I don't think without a Bernie, you got a Tulsi Gabbard that's in a position to run now. So without Bernie running in 2016, in 2015, 2016, and making the inroads and waking up people and galvanizing people around a revolution, a political revolution, I don't think you have a Tulsi Gabbard announcing a run in early 2019. So everything feeds off itself. The political revolution of 2015 is just a continuation of the Occupy Wall Street movement, which is just a continuation
10 seconds.
You know, earlier movements, from the gay pride movement to the civil rights movement to the women's movement. Like all these movements, they just continue to grow. So I believe that, yes, everyone has a role to play. And I think Bernie played his role. Maybe without Bernie, we're not having the show tonight. So let me go to the next call. Give it up for that. 343, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim Vargas, you're from Canada. Patrick Seguin, how you doing today, Tim?
Hey, Pat, how you doing, man?
Surviving this cold, miserable weather, but it's nice and sunny out, but it's damn miserable outside. You can't even go for a long walk anyway. It's like minus 20 degrees Celsius.
Pat, I just said that to be nice. I don't care, man. What's your comment?
I'm happy about Tulsi Gabbard running for here, and the reason why is she's anti-pipeline, and we have a situation here in Canada about Indigenous people here in Canada that's going on right now. BC is being forced to pass pipeline by Trudeau, and of course the BC NDP and Green Coalition with the Alberta NDP government. So unfortunately, there's some Indian settlers that do not agree with the pipeline, and the RCMP has forced their hand, so to speak. I was reading a piece on Democracy Now! About Indigenous pipeline that is going through their reserve, and there's some settlers that got arrested by the RCMP, which they're using military force. And it's the same thing like they did in the Standing Rock, and like the Intercept reported there quite a few, but a year and a half ago about the FBI using them. Even Tiger Swan, etc. So it's just, Tulsi Gabbard coming in like this right now, they would help reform policies in oil, for, like in natural gas for both countries. For example, Canada could take the lead, the left lead with the NDP, for example, and nationwide, and go against the pipelines and trying to have a Green New Deal sort of policy in Canada as well. So, Tulsi Gabbard coming in today is a little bit of a savior, and hopefully she does. And I think that the strategy in this for Bernie Sanders is that Tulsi Gabbard would announce Bernie Sanders as VP if she was the primary against everybody else. And I was full support Tulsi Gabbard over anybody else, and that's how I feel that it is. So, anyways, you have yourself a good weekend there, Tim, and keep on trucking. And I am enjoying every single video of yours, and I watch every single minute and keep up to date with your opinions and sprinkle some facts on them. Anyways, have a good weekend there, Tim.
Thank you, Pat. I appreciate you, man. Wow, look at that. We're talking like, see, look, I don't want us to get too far down, but I gotta admit, it felt good. Did he say like, if Tulsi runs, she can make Bernie her VP. Doesn't that sound great? That makes you feel good, man. That makes you feel good. I'm trying to tell you.
I didn't know I couldn't do that.
That's pretty special. Wow. And then we can get Nina Turner as, God, I don't know. What would Nina do? Is Nina going to run? I want Nina to... Nina, what you going to do, Nina Turner? Mrs. Turner, what are you going to do? We need to know what you're going to do. Come on now. People are still behind you, Nina Turner. I still support you. You speak truth to power every day. All right? This is a, the service picks you. You don't pick the service now. The service picks you. I don't know. Wow. Got me thinking about cabinet positions and all these people. Wow. It's amazing. Tulsi would be hard to beat. 360. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? Hello.
Hey, I'm Adam. How you doing, Tim?
Hey, Adam. How you doing, my friend? What's up?
Not much, man.
Talk to me.
I am surprised to be on right now.
Well, don't be surprised, man. We're having a good time tonight, man. What do you think about Tulsi Gabbard announcing? What do you think about the shutdown? Those are our two hot topics tonight.
Well, I guess about Tulsi, of course, I'm really enthusiastic about her. She's been pretty awesome as far as it goes with American politicians right now. But, I'm a little bit worried because it's strange that she'll be running against Bernie. I would love for her to be on the ticket with Bernie as the VP, but maybe I'm just not with the times, not with everybody else right now. Maybe she's possibly a president and Bernie a VP. I don't know, but for real, I want to see Bernie as the president, no matter what.
I hear you, man. That's an honest take, man. Bernie hasn't announced that he's running. We just assume he's running, but he might not be running.
Do you really think he's not going to run for real?
I don't know, brother. I don't know.
Well, I think he's going to run. I really can't see how he wouldn't run at this point if it were, unless he doesn't, unless he has a stroke or something horrible happens, but he has to run at this point.
I think we'll see, man. We'll definitely see. Well, look, man, I don't know. Anything else you want to say? Anything else on your mind tonight?
Well, your show is awesome. It's my first time calling in, and that's all.
Well, look, Adam, that's
Thank
enough,
you
man.
for being so awesome.
All right, sure, Adam. Thank you for calling in, man. Give it up for Adam, first-time caller, guys. All right.
My name is Lauren A. I'm from California, and and I'm just hoping for the best for 2020. I don't really care who is running, as long as we are running for social justice. I am a person who works in the social services, and I tell you what, I get so many calls from people who are asking for help and I can't really help them because we don't have enough resources for people. Housing is one big thing that is really bad in California right now, and I think we need to handle that as well as, allowing people to come to this country. I really don't care who comes into this country. Everybody deserves a better life, so that's my thing. And then I'm hearing now a rumor that Kamala may be running as well, so I'm excited for that if she is. If all these progressive people are running, I just hope that, they're, even if one of my favorites, which is Bernie, obviously, isn't running, I'm hoping that he can run with someone as a vice president or someone on their team. So that's my comment. Like, I just hope that we have a better social programs to help people who are in need, because I'm so sick and tired of people just rich people just arguing over dumb stuff that we don't really need right now. We need free education. We need better health care. We need affordable housing. We need better jobs. Those are my 4 main things that I care about. We need to start looking at these other countries with these social programs and taking notes and applying it into our country. Like, why is it so hard? Why are we so fucking greedy? But that's my comment.
Well, I appreciate your comment. I agree with you, Lorna. She said, look, and I just do me a favor. Look into Kamala Harris, because you say you said that social justice is important to you. I want you to look into Kamala Harris when she was working as a district attorney. I want you to look into her. She was a top cop. And then when she was a prosecutor in California, and you know her. So you're from California, so you know these things. I have a problem with anybody who was a cop. Sorry. I just got a problem with the law enforcement in general. Not every particular person in law enforcement, but the people at the top I got a real problem with. But just look at her closely before you get too excited about it. But I agree with you. In fact, I have a grid that I put up on the screen yesterday, and we had a little technical glitch, so I'm wondering if I still have it. Because a lot of people complain about social programs. They complain about them. They think, oh no, they think that social programs are just giving people free stuff, right? And you and I both know that's not the case. And gosh, I have a grid where it shows how much of our budget actually goes to those programs. It's only 5% of our budget. Our military gets 57% of our budget. Social programs, that includes everything that you can think of. Everything that you can think of that has to do with people getting any type of assistance at all from our government, from our federal government. 6% of our federal budget. That's it. So it's a very tiny slither of our overall budget that people are complaining about. But they use that to do what? To keep us divided. To divide us and keep us pitted against each other like that. Like so imagine you got $100 and 5 of it goes to house people. And 57 goes to drop bombs. And people are complaining that you spent the $5 to house people. To help house people. It's crazy, right? So anyway, thank you so much for the phone call. I appreciate you. Just do me the favor, look up Kamala, and just remember, just because somebody sound good, got to check them out, vet them out real good. Look, guys, the Tim Black Show, TBTV, Take Back Television, Tim Black TV. Look, guys, this show is about opening the minds and the brains of people all across the country and beyond, right? The reason why you join this show, the reason why you become a Wolfpack member is not because you like bald guys who talk loudly on the internet. I mean, if that does it for you, that's cool, but that's not really why. The real reason why you support this show is that you realize that media is important. And I don't just mean to find out if the Patriots win tomorrow or not, but I mean information is important. How else do people become educated? You know, when you meet people in real life who don't know shit, why do you think they don't know anything? They're reading, consuming the wrong media. Look, at some point, some great benefactor will come to this show who's progressive, and they'll say, hey, I love what you do, Tim Black. Don't change your thing. Keep doing it your way. Here goes, I don't know, the Young Turks got 20 million. They'll say, here goes 2 million, Tim Black. But until that time comes, guys, because it can't come with strings. It can't come with, you need to do this. You need to be soft on Hillary. You need to be a friend of Howard Dean. We need you to be like Trevor Noah. It can't come that way. Until that time comes, Tim Black's Wolfpack is where it's at, man. So that's why you become a member of Tim Black's Wolfpack. Because you realize that it's not just for you. It's so that we can continue to wake up the people that you have to live next door to. So let's make that be one of the reasons why. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Pat. Pat Sequin. Pat said, extra flow. Cheers. Cheers to you too, Pat. And Schultze 100 said, Nina Turner, Secretary of State. Give it up for that. You know what? I thought of that. But see, I don't want her to set her sights low. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say Nina, Secretary of State. I don't want to do that because I don't know what Nina wants to do. I just respect the hell out of her. And look, this is the thing, guys. When people are willing to lose something. See, this is the thing. Nina Turner and Tulsi Gabbard were willing to lose something to believe in something. Now, I know my friend Brad from Massachusetts called up, and he was saying we're being too hard on Elizabeth Warren. That Elizabeth Warren, they got these talking points they put out on the right, and the left agrees with them. Dumb left. You know what they say. They call us dumb left. And I get his point, right? That's why we got to be careful, because we don't want to fall for smear jobs, right? We don't want to fall for smear jobs. But you know what's not a smear job? What's not a smear job is that Elizabeth Warren did not risk it for us. She did not risk it for us. Bernie Sanders risked it. He took the risk. He should reap the benefit of support, of loyalty, of a free bowl of grits when he comes to town. He should get that, right? Tulsi Gabbard. Risk. They ran people against Tulsi Gabbard to try to get her out of her representative position in Hawaii. Because she what? Because she endorsed Bernie and she quit the DNC and she shunned Hillary. They tried to punish her for that. They did punish her for that. They said they're going to cut off her money, that they weren't going to give to her, that they weren't going to support her. Tulsi Gabbard won re-election anyway. But that's not what the DNC wanted. That's not what the DCCC had in store for her. That has nothing to do with right-wing or Russian propaganda or any of it. That's just facts. Elizabeth Warren was not willing to suffer the slings and arrows. Now, you can say it's for any reason you want. You can come up with scenarios in your head if it makes you feel better. But at the end of the day, we'll remember by what we did. We'll remember by what we did. Not by what excuse we had for not doing what we should have done. And that will be the story of Elizabeth Warren until she changes that narrative by something she does, not by something she says. Because when the rubber hits the road, it's about what we do, not about what we say we would do. Nina Turner turned her back on the Clintons. Every day. I watch Nina Turner every day be attacked online by the black community who didn't understand why she didn't support Hillary, who called her every name in the book because they didn't get it. They didn't get it. And that's one of the reasons why I supported Nina Turner, because I realized that they were people just didn't get it. They're being misinformed. They called her the most hateful names. because they felt that she betrayed them. When she's fighting for them. See, we are not what we say we are what we do. She walked that walk. She walked that walk. That's what matters. And I'm not saying that I have it all figured out, but I wasn't born last night. And I'm not going to just trust you by your word. You're going to have to show me what you're about. So I'm excited about Tulsi Gabbard running because I believe that she believes in what she says she believes in. And that may be a small thing to some people, but to some of us who know how politics works, it's big. I've had the privilege of speaking to Tulsi Gabbard about coming on the show. I will continue to pursue that. We'll see what happens. Ginger Bila, how you doing, Ginger? Thank you, Ginger says. Thanks for the great show, Tim. Still waiting to see how the Green Party puts up. Also, who they put up. Love Tulsi, though. Well, I respect the hell out of that, Ginger. I respect that. And you know what? I want to bring Jill Stein and Ajamu Baraka back on the show, and maybe Margaret Flowers back on the show. And all right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe, stay warm. We're getting some snow here in D.C. We're going to have some snow. They say about 3 to 6 inches. So, you know, some people are freaking out. I'm cool with that. We got our water. Why does the people go get water like that's all you need, you know? Go get some water and a bottle of wine. I'm God. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Last call for alcohol, guys. My people shout out to the Truth Bomb activists. Boom. Truth Bomb activist, Suzanne Murphy, the whole crew. Thank you, guys. Don't forget to go to justinform.com. Justinform.com. That's a social media site that's founded by activists. I'm a part owner of it. It don't cost you a dime. You go to that website, people share information, and we all do it to make people smarter, to keep people informed. That's why it's called Just Inform. Justinform.com, go do that. And don't forget, guys, I got a comedy DVD that I put out for my time traveling around the country. I hit like 5 states, and I've got live footage of me up on the stage making people laugh. So go to racistpeoplesuck.com, racistpeoplesuck.com, and pick up your copy. All right, guys, I'm out. I'll see you on the next one. Be safe, y'all.